Well, time to work on the SL a little bit. Project for today, replace the throttle body. Hopefully that works. Put in the airbox, the replacement, and then also remove the upper core support and try to bolt this fan in however it's supposed to be bolted in. Fingers crossed. And then after that, maybe do the hood pad. I think I should be able to do that today. However, I may want to hold off until I have some of that red touch-up paint down here. I don't think it's down here right now, but at very least I could remove the insulation pad right now because it looks pretty grunchy. And then also try to wire this in or something because I'd rather not lose that brand new OE piece. Good old facelift expensive parts. Great. Anyhow, yeah, step one, I'm just gonna grab a Phillips and it looks like a 5mm Allen. And we should be able to pop that throttle body right off. The shattered gear that I super glued back on, it really wouldn't be a problem until you get to, I think it's, sorry, oh, for Pete's sake. Until you get to almost wide open throttle, or actually wide open throttle, where the gear starts to torque a little bit weird and it actually holds the throttle body open, which isn't great. So we'd run into problems with that, and obviously this shouldn't be open. It ran, the car drove like that, but I've got a used one here. The first thing I'm noticing is this clip was broken off by the salvage yard, so I'm gonna transfer that over. Then I'm also gonna run and get a clamp, which I never bothered to replace the first time I had the throttle body off, for that hose right there, which I think that's idle air. Not entirely sure, but I'm gonna grab a couple clamps there just to make sure we are nice and sealed, because I really don't want any lean codes or anything like that coming from something I've done, just to make sure that the diagnostic process is as solid as it can be. So I'm gonna grab a little standard to try to get this clip off, clamps, and I think the gasket looked fine. So yeah, maybe I'll put a teeny bit of sealer on there, not much though, just to make sure that we're solid. Got the clip transferred and got a very light coating of some copper RTV on the back. I'm gonna just pull this little rubber guy off the secondary air hose and get the small clamp fastened right on there, and then slide the big clamp over just so we're ready. Well, massive overkill, but doesn't appear that it gets in the way of the range of motion of the throttle body at all, which is important. And everything snapped back together pretty nice. So I'm going to throw, I think I have to throw the airbox in first, and then I can deal with putting our little snort back in here. But I've got the IAT sender, which open element, so it should still be okay, but I've got to route this snout in through here and a bunch of other fun stuff. Starting to look more like a real engine. That's kind of nice. I do still have to see. I think there is some shroud or something that this should have that doesn't. So for the R129 600, to get the throttle bodies to sync, all you have to do is put the key in the ignition, wait 20 seconds, and we should see the throttle body actuate. Okay, so they should be synced. Time to fire it up. I'll be curious to read the check engine light. I don't know what that's all about. She's running smooth as silk though. Very nice. I'm gonna pop the second door open and I'm actually gonna get this thing outside, and then maybe I'll do the fans and the sunlight on the other side. So the tire was flat. Pump that back up. And now, still having soft top issues. So I go in. So we get to this point, and we get the flashing lights. So I'm gonna stick my 7mm Allen. Oh, maybe it's actually a 6. Shoot, it's a 6. Let me grab that real quick, but there's an Allen hole to release the actual soft top latch. And I'm gonna try to cycle it manually and see if it'll purge itself. And I'm also gonna check the fluid reservoir level on that new pump in the trunk. I just had to manually cycle it, which I think purged some air out of the system or something like that, or just let it remember where it was. And now, working beautifully. Time to take this bad boy for a drive. Well, now that the top works, it's time to go get the fans and see if we can get those installed too. You need a scissor to cut a zip tie. Hopefully the rest of the hardware is there. Well, that was amazingly easy. There is still one electrical plug here. I don't know what it's for, but it looks pretty beefy. So I'm just gonna tuck that out of the way for now, because I really have genuinely no idea what that does. The trans does need a little bit of a top up, and I don't have the appropriate fluid here. So I might risk taking this thing out to an auto parts store and getting some, just so it's not in danger of hurting the transmission.